Hi, this is Lara from KnotEnufKnitting. I'm going to show you an alternate way to do the Chinese Waitress cast on. This one is done with a crochet hook, so it's a lot more simple than the one I had posted previously that was done with your needles. So this is what it looks like. Same thing, just has a nice solid edge on both sides. And when you do this Chinese Waitress cast on, you're going to cast on one extra stitch than what the pattern calls for. And in the Afghan, it does state to do one extra stitch, so that will already be there. The reason is that when you come to the end of your first row, we're going to remove this slip stitch as it's not quite the same as the rest of the cast on. Okay, so for this cast on, we're going to use our circular needles, the ones that we're going to use for our Afghan. So we'll start with our slip knot, and we're just going to use one side of our circular needle. So just put your slip knot on like normal. And then we'll start with the cast on. So we're going to use our crochet hook. So we're going to make an X with our crochet hook, and then take our working yarn, and we're going to put it around, whoops, kind of getting messed up here, sorry, around the circular needle, and then we're going to use our crochet hook to slip it through the hole. So that's our first one. And then we're going to make an X again, take that yarn around the circular needle, over top, use a crochet hook, pull the yarn through, and then so we have 2 loops on our crochet hook. We're going to pull the yarn through the second loop, and there's our first cast on stitch, or actually would be our second, and then that's the edge that's we're looking for. So to do that again, make your X, take your working yarn over top, use your crochet hook, slip it through the first loop, and then slip it through the second loop. So it's very, very basic. Make your X around the top, use your crochet hook, and slip it through. So I'll just do a few here. And once you get the rhythm of it, it goes really quick. Okay, so then if we're at the end, we'll do our last one. And we're left with 1 stitch on our crochet hook. We could slip it like this if we want, and it works. You can do it that way, but it's not quite the same. It leaves kind of a sloppy end stitch. So what we'll actually do is we're going to just do 1 crochet stitch here. We're going to grab our working yarn, just regular, and pull it through that last stitch and slip it on our needle. And that way now it looks more similar to the rest of the cast on. And then when we start our pattern, this will be the first row. So this will be our first stitch that we work with. And then remember, when we get to the end of our first row, we're going to slip off this slip knot stitch. And that way we'll be left with the right amount of stitches we need for the pattern.